Hey guys, so hope you enjoyed the little family clips there. Welcome back to This Budget Life. I am participating in the Why I Like My Budget Style collab. I am a week late getting this out because we were just fighting colds and we had company and everything this week and it just wasn't gonna happen. So anyway, I want to get started on this. I have not watched anybody else's Why I Like My Budget Style yet because I didn't want to I wanted to just kind of do it on my own. And I didn't want it to be just kind of like a repeat of what everybody else did. So I, on purpose, have not watched anybody else's, but as soon as I get mine done, I will. When we started budgeting, we started with actual cash envelopes, like, you know, paper envelopes, got the cash out of the bank, divided it up, and spent it that way. But there were some drawbacks to doing that long term, as many of you have found out. Keeping your entire budget cash envelopes, you wind up not being able to budget the way you want because both partners, especially like if you're me and you're married or you're in a relationship where you're both using the same budget envelopes, only one person can have the grocery envelope at a time. And so we wound up with that problem. There was also the problem of like what to do with loose change. I tried a Savvy Sense envelope. My biggest peeve with that was that there's no bottoms to the divider, so my loose change from different envelopes would go everywhere, and you, I mean, literally would have to go sit down with your receipts, figure out what your change was to keep all the envelopes, and it just was crazy. So we decided to try, after a few months of cash envelope budgeting where we felt like we had a handle on things, we went ahead and switched to Mvelopes, which is spelled the way it sounds, Mvelopes.com, and that is an electronic budgeting service. And it is free for up to 25 envelopes. But with having a large family and me being a type A personality, we had to have a lot more envelopes than that. I had more envelopes than that when we were cash budgeting. So anyway, we'll switch hands here. So we started out with the free one at first for the first week or so, and then switched to the paid version. The paid version has unlimited envelopes. It also has a lot of premier resources, including a lot of reading material and live chat help options, which are really great. Mvelopes hooks to any and all bank accounts that you want it to and will import your transactions for you. You can create a budget. It'll set up like a basic budget, but you can tweak it, rename categories, rename envelopes however you want. Now, if you're wondering why I'm not showing you screenshots of my budget, I don't personally mind. However, I am in a marriage and my husband is not comfortable with putting our actual numbers out there. And so while I may refer to, oh, this is our grocery budget for this month, or this is how much we saved, he is just really not comfortable with putting our personal budget, personal account amounts, and all of that out there for the world to see, at least at this point. And I have to respect that. I mean, obviously, you know, that he's just as much a part of this as I am, and being the main breadwinner and everything, I respect that he wants to have some privacy in that area. So if you've wondered why I've never shown you like actual bank account amounts or actual numbers, it's not from any desire to have a lack of transparency. It's because I'm respecting my husband's wishes in this. So anyway, back to the budgeting. Envelopes is great because you can have the unlimited envelopes per category. So if I work my way down, I've got our credit card payments, we've got birthdays and holidays, and these are the main categories that have envelopes under them. There's home, which includes like utilities, mortgage, pest control that we take out every quarter to get the house and the yard sprayed. Then we have health, we have personal, we have dues and subscriptions, which are things like Amy's payment for her braces that comes out every month. Well, that's actually in health, but dues and subscriptions would be, what all do I have in there? Things like the envelopes fee that we pay for the coaching, because we are getting envelopes coaching, and I'll go over that a little bit later. But anything that comes out monthly that doesn't fit in another category goes in dues and subscriptions. I have personal category, and that includes burnout money, eating out money, entertainment type stuff, small entertainment budget, Netflix, Hulu. We also have a daily living, which includes groceries, and I don't know what else really is in there in the daily living. I think it's just basically the groceries. But you can, you know, put as many envelopes and have as many categories as you want. We have a vacation category, we have recreation, which includes sports, theater costs for theater summer camp, Bible camp, that's all in there. And of course savings, which has our emergency fund. So basically you'll link your checking account and your savings account however you want to, and it will import transactions and deposits, and you would put all your deposits in something called an income cash pool. And once you've set up your budget and how you want to fund that budget throughout the month, whether you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, once a month, whatever, you set up what you want to do with each paycheck in a funding plan. So say you have a bill of $100 and you're going to take $25 out a week. You're going to go ahead and take, when you break down that paycheck in the funding plan, you're going to put 25 from each paycheck that week into that particular envelope. So when your paycheck comes in, assuming it's the same amount that you assumed it would be, you don't have to go and individually fill the envelopes. You can click fund envelopes using a saved funding profile, and it will take that week or whatever week you choose and fund the envelopes immediately according to how you had divvied it up when you created your budget. So it's very fast, very quick, everything's automatically done. Now, if for some reason your paycheck's a little less or a little more, a little less, you can adjust it before you fund it. A little more, you'll have extra left over that you can throw at your debt snowball or whatever baby step you happen to be on, and we really like it. I also like it because they have an app for iPhone and for Android, and so my husband and I can both click the app on our phones and see what balance is in the envelopes at any time. We can both use it. It's linked to our debit card, and he's worked out really, really well for us. I like the fact that we're not carrying cash anymore. As much as I was gung-ho for the whole Dave Ramsey cash envelope thing, the idea of carrying my entire grocery budget with me when I went out in cash was more than a little nerve-wracking. Hold on just a second, I gotta get the kids quiet. It's been hushed. I like the detailed reports that they have. You can click on an envelope and see how much you've budgeted, how much you've actually funded, and how much you've actually spent. You can see this overall for the time that you've been using envelopes, or you can see it for individual envelopes. It breaks it down any way you want to see it. I like it that there's no mess, there's no torn envelopes, there's no loose change. It's just all right there. It's very flexible. It has sweep options where you can take envelopes. If a bill was less than you thought it would be, you could take and move that money to something else if you want to very easily, all within the PC version. I don't know that you can do that quite as much on the mobile app just because I don't use it quite as often other than to check balances, but that would be a good thing to check out. Like I said, it's free for beginners. Once we realized that we liked it, but we needed more envelopes, we opted for the one-year membership just to give it a real solid trial run, and it was $99. After that, if you decide you want to keep it and keep using it, which we are, you can pay a one-time lifetime fee of $299, and then you have access to it for the rest of your life. And that is also the live chat help option and any premier resources that they put on there. So that is what we're going to do when our first year is up. I know that can be a little pricey, but the amount of money that we're saving having a budget that really fits our personalities and how we work is definitely worth it. It will keep track of your transfers for you. So if you transfer money from one envelope to another, it keeps track of that. So you can click on it, any envelope, and see where you've transferred money. So if you had extra grocery money, but you needed more gas money that week and you transferred it, it will tell you how much, when, and where that money went. So rather than it's just kind of having to keep track constantly in a notebook or something like that, it's all right there on the screen. They do have a coaching option, which we're taking advantage of for at least a few months, which is $59.95 a month, and you get 1 to 2 calls a month with a coach. They go over where you are in your baby steps. Their baby steps are slightly different. They like you to have a full month of emergency funds saved up before you start trying to pay down your debt, but obviously it's your budget and they'll respect that. I really like the coaches that I've had so far. We had 2 right in the beginning to get us started, and then we've had the same one for the last several months. They can be pushy because of course they're trained to do things a certain way. So they may bring it up, oh, you know, you really would like you to have a whole month instead of just $1,000. And granted, you know, if you choose to do that, that's fine. However, we are very impatient to get our debt paid down. So while we will continue to build our emergency fund probably along with our debt snowball, we're not going to wait till we have a whole month before we even get started. That would just take too long for us. What I really like is that when you create a budget for 1 month, in one of the screens, you can see it out for another 8, 9, 10 months. And you can actually go in right on that screen. You can see like the whole next 11 months together and tweak things. So if you know that you only need maybe $50 in clothing this month, but in September or October, when it starts to get cool and chilly and you're going to have to start looking at jackets and sweaters and all of that, you can up it for that month particularly, so you can see what your expenses are most likely going to be for the whole next year all on one screen, and tweak it right from there if you want to. So that is really, really cool. I really like that. So Mvelopes has been a lifesaver for us. I feel like we're a lot more accountable because we can both look at it. It's not just one person with a bunch of envelopes. You know, he can look, James can look at it at any time and see the deposits, the withdrawals, what all's been spent. I guess the biggest challenge in getting it started was really getting all of the different envelopes set up and getting them all the sinking funds, and it was, you know, just adding those and figuring out, do we have too many, do we need to condense some. So it was a learning experience, but right now I love it. It takes me maybe 5 minutes in the morning to go in to see any new transactions that have cleared the bank and get them sorted into their envelopes, and that's about it. So that is why I like my budgeting style. Now that I'm done with mine, I'm going to go and read everybody else's. I will link the list of everybody who's participating in this collab down below, and I hope you go and check them out and give them some YouTube love. I'm sure there is a lot more ideas than everybody else's, and all kinds of different styles to fit your family and what you're looking to get out of a budget. So have fun checking those out, and I will see you later.